Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are sinking our teeth into the absolute best short-form horror of the year. We're going to count down the most terrifying, most innovative, and, honestly, the most unforgettable tales that are really defining the genre right now.
Okay, let's just dive right in, because sometimes all you need are 2 sentences to cook up an entire nightmare. This little story is a classic, and it perfectly captures the raw power of short-form horror. You get a quick setup, a terrifying twist, and an ending that leaves you checking over your shoulder for sure.
But to really get a feel for where we are now, we kind of have to know where we came from. The art of the short scare has been evolving for centuries, shifting from this dense atmospheric literature to the viral legends that just explode across the internet. And you can really see that evolution right here. On the left, you've got that slow burn terror from classic authors, building dread word by word. Then on the right, you've got the rapid-fire, instantly shareable horror of the digital age, with stories like The Backrooms becoming these huge, collaborative mythologies online.
And this new form of digital folklore, it even got a name, creepypasta, and it has become an absolutely dominant force. It's user-generated, it's designed to go viral, and it's created this whole new ecosystem for horror storytelling to just thrive in.
So how does this all play out today? Well, to guide us through the very best short stories of 2025, we're turning to a modern-day curator of fear, the YouTube channel Happy Goat Horror. And let me tell you, they did the work. To create their definitive best of list, the host read and reviewed an incredible 517 different short stories. That's from a huge range of collections and anthologies. So this isn't just some casual list. This is a real deep dive.
So the countdown kicks off with a fantastic spread of fears. At number 10, A Forest Haunt gives us a chilling folk horror tale set deep in some forbidden woods. Then at number 9, we jump into the desperate post-apocalyptic world of Stephen King's The Stand. And at number 8, Acolytes of the Famished Giant explores a really sinister and unsettling family tradition. Then, at number 7, Forgetting taps into the very real horror of a mysterious nationwide memory loss pandemic. All right, as we climb higher, the concepts get even more unsettling. Number 6, Chloe, is told entirely through DMs and YouTube comments, a super modern and unnerving take on the dark side of parasocial relationships. At number 5, Tanya was so terrifying that the reviewer literally said it made them put off going to sleep. And coming in at number 4, You Got Me Babe, is probably one of the most twisted takes on an artist's muse you will ever read.
All right, now for the heavy hitters. Let's see what it takes to be crowned one of the 3 most terrifying stories of the entire year.
Coming in hot at number 3, we've got a story that takes a beloved holiday and just turns it into pure, unadulterated nightmare fuel. Epilogue, O Little Town.
And the praise from Happy Goat Horror couldn't be higher. It's set in this bizarre little town where every year a Santa is selected. The catch? You really do not want to be the one chosen. The reviewer called the central concept both batshit crazy and somehow so perfect.
So what makes it so effective? Well, it's this genius blend of genres. It takes all the familiar, festive stuff about Christmas and just smashes it head-on into the ancient, unsettling dread of folk horror. And it creates something totally unique. It's also part of a collection where every story is set in the same strange town, which is a fantastic idea. Now, in a totally unprecedented move, the top spot is a tie. And our first winner is from the very same author and collection, Benjamin Kurt Unsworth. This one is called The All-Embracing Nature of a Plastic Bag, and the perspective is, well, it's a huge gamble that pays off in the most disturbing way imaginable.
Okay, get ready for this. The premise is just audaciously brilliant. Yes, you read that right. The entire story is narrated by the murder weapon itself. It's a concept that sounds almost comical until you read it, and then it becomes just profoundly horrifying. So why does this work? It sounds kind of silly, right? But the story pulls it off by giving the plastic bag a personality. It's funny in a deeply unsettling way, and it seems to have this weird, almost romantic affection for the killer using it. It makes a horrifying act feel shockingly intimate, and it just proves that in horror, perspective is everything. And sharing that number 1 spot is Grace by Tim Levin, a story that plugs you directly into a universe created by the master of modern horror himself. Grace is set during the events of Stephen King's apocalyptic masterpiece, The Stand. And the reviewer said it's the best story in its anthology, that it felt so authentic it could have been a lost chapter from King's original novel. It was so good, in fact, that Stephen King himself gave it a shout-out on Twitter. You can't get a better endorsement than that. What makes this story so powerful is how it layers different kinds of terror. See, it's set on a space station, so you already have the intense claustrophobia of being stranded in space. But then, you're watching the world-ending plague from the stand unfold on the Earth below you. You're watching the apocalypse from orbit, helpless, as ground control goes silent forever. It's just a brilliant expansion of a classic universe.
Okay, let's just step back for a second. When you look at this incredible top 10 list as a whole, what does it tell us? What kind of fears are actually haunting us right now?
Well, we're seeing a few clear trends. Folk horror, with its ancient, ritualistic fears, is as powerful as it's ever been. There's also this huge appetite for high-concept psychological stories, like a tale told from a plastic bag's point of view. And authors are finding powerful new ways to play in these established fictional universes, adding new layers to stories we already know and love.
And this really brings us to the final takeaway. Horror is never static. It's a mirror. It reflects our deepest anxieties right back at us. This list is a perfect snapshot of our fears in 2025, which leaves us with one last lingering question. As our world keeps changing, what new nightmares will our stories need to invent just to keep up?